Hey guys, so continuing with the Udemy example, and I always like to complement also the different tools and applications that I'm sharing with you with real world examples of how people are making money. And so you don't think that this is something that I'm making up or that is just in my head or in my mind or in my heart. It is something that is factual, it is something that is real. And I'm showing you right now on screen one article from Forbes magazine, which is one of the most important financial magazines in the world, and who hasn't heard about Forbes, right? So here is an article on Forbes, which I can share with you in the course as well, so you can read it yourself. I'm not going to go into it in detail, but basically the title of this article is "Anyone Can Teach Anything on this Education Site, and that's why it's worth billions." And they're talking specifically about Udemy in this example or in this article. So you can see here, and I'm not going to go, like I said, into all of the details of this article, but it's a really interesting article that talks about, the evolution of Udemy, the current CEO of Udemy, and a little bit about his background, etc. And here's the founder of Udemy as well, who, founded, I guess that the roots of Udemy come from Turkey, but it's now headquartered also in San Francisco in the US. But I'm going to go down a little bit more. Look at this. This photographer is earning $1 million a year teaching online. Again, this is Forbes magazine. I'm not making this up. This is real world, a real life example of Phil Ebiner, who is one of the success stories in Udemy, but he's not the only one. There are many other guys like Phil or like myself who are making a ton of money on Udemy and other online teaching platforms. And this is something that, like I said, anyone can do. You can do this yourself. Now, obviously, not everyone is going to get to $1 million a year. That is, one of the, I guess, highest incomes you could reach probably on an online teaching platform. But this has to do, of course, like anything else with, for example, in the case of Phil, I know he's very talented with his videos. I have actually I guess I've actually interacted with Phil many times in the past, and he's a great guy. But not only that, he's very talented. He actually has a filmmaking background. Like, this guy actually studied filmmaking. So his courses are a bit like Hollywood quality, like this guy really knows a lot about video creation, video editing, and stuff like that, which is of course part of his success. But that's not the only reason, and you can read more about his story in this article, but I'm just going to scroll down to show you another really interesting case, which is this lady here called Teresa Greenway. So if you read here, she's made $12,400 in May, just in a month. All right. So just in a month, she made over $12,000 on Udemy. And I think that's great. And it's a perfect, really good example of how literally anyone can create an online course and make money on a marketplace like Udemy. Now, look at this. She's 61. Phil is like in his early 30s. So very two different people. Phil is a guy, she's a gal, and different ages, and they're still both making really good money. And Phil's courses are around like photography, video editing, and all of that stuff. And these ladies' courses are about baking bread, right? Who would have thought that someone selling online courses about baking bread would be making $12,000 a month? Like, I wouldn't have thought that. You probably wouldn't have thought that either, but it is happening. It is real. It is the opportunities that are available at your fingertips in the modern world, and that not everyone is taking advantage of these opportunities. And that's why I've invited you to this mini series, because I'm not just going to talk about one particular example or one, we're not going to cover this in just one single course. There's going to be a series of multiple mini courses in which I'm going to be walking you through different tools and applications and technologies that you can use to leverage and create money. Because like I said, it is not just a single one. There is not just one thing. Udemy is one of the many, many, many platforms that are out there to generate money with your online courses. And again, online course creation is one of the many, 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 many industries in which you could get into with something as simple as a laptop and your voice and knowledge. All right. So again, I'm not going to go into the details of this article. I think you can read it yourself, but there is a ton of opportunities, and Udemy is one of those many examples. And if we go here to this other article about Phil, which I have opened here, so he's making $1 million a year, and you can see here that it says his income hit 92,000. That's in a single month. Now in April, his best month ever, he made $109,000. So in April, this guy, like in a single month, he made $109,000. And this is American dollars, this is US dollars. Now, how many people do you know, and let's be honest here, how many people do you know who have a 9-to-5 job and are making $100,000 in a month? I can, without even you telling me the answer of this, I can pretty much know, I know for a fact that probably 99% of you guys watching this video don't have anyone that you know that is making $110,000 a month, right? It is very unlikely that you have someone, that an acquaintance or someone that you know that will be making this amount of money in a single month in a 9-to-5 job. Like, I don't know anyone literally in a 9-to-5 job that is making this amount of money, literally. And I know CEOs and I know CIOs, and I don't know any of them making this amount of money in a single month. But this guy, which I actually know, Phil, doing online teaching and online course creation, is making that amount of money in a single month. Now, obviously, he didn't start making $100,000 a month. He started teaching back, I think it was 2012 or 2014, I can't recall right now. So a couple of years ago, but it didn't take him a lifetime. It didn't take him 30 years to reach this amount. And there could be people in a 9-to-5 job who would be working, 30, 40 years, and they would never, ever reach $100,000 a month. That's probably the salary they would reach like in a years of work, right? And that's probably if they had a senior role or a really good role. Like, there's a lot of people that are not making this amount of money, even when they work on the same thing from 9 to 5 for 30, 40 years, okay? So this is why I'm so excited to share all of these opportunities with you guys, because this is not something I'm making up. This is not Mauricio just telling you, with up in the thin air, some stories about rainbows and unicorns and stuff like that. This is actually a real world, and I'll share with you the links to these Forbes magazine article, so you can read it yourself on your own time and read about, Phil's story on Udemy and how he's making all of this money, from his online course creation process. And like I said, Phil is one of many examples, and Udemy is also one of many examples. And in other parts of the course, or in other courses of this mini series, I'm going to walk you through other examples of other very successful online instructors and other very good online teaching platforms, which you can also leverage and use to generate more income and more money. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.